Hey everybody, it's Prince's Friend, and I'm actually here with a discussion video here today. I was doing a little bit of searching on the internet and trying to find some cool Prince articles that maybe you guys haven't seen, and I did find one, and it was an article that is on scottwoodsmakeslists.wordpress.com, and it's actually entitled 10 Ways Kanye West is Not Prince. There's a little bit of history to the article that was written, and it's because there was an R&B producer, record executive, whose name was L.A. Reid, and he was actually as stated as saying, "People may not recognize it, but I promise you, a few years from today, we're going to look back and say, oh my God, what an amazing, amazing talent. People love Kanye for sure, but he's great, great. I mean, on the level of Prince." But modern day, he's hip hop. He's not the same thing. He doesn't play guitar. He doesn't play piano. He's not that kind of performer, but for hip hop, he is a king. And of course, I'm not a fan of Kanye West myself, so I'm like, what? And apparently this guy does actually like Kanye West, but is as convinced as I am that obviously Kanye West is not Prince. So I'm not going to go through the whole article, but I'm just going to hit the 10 points real quick, and then I'm going to link it in the comments so you can go and check it out, and you can read the whole article because it is actually pretty long. He put a lot of effort and information in this article that I thought was really, really cool. So let's just go down the quick list of the 10 things. So the first one is Prince is more talented. And he put this graphic up, which I thought was really funny. Prince sings, dances, songwrites, musicianship, production, engineering, acting, vision, executive of vision, everything in checks in Prince, no checks in Kanye West. I mean, I think that's freaking hilarious. There's also a difference here in the next graphic where if you see the difference between Raspberry Beret's music and Gold Digger's music, two big hits for either of them, and it just shows you the complexity of Prince's music versus the complexity of Kanye West's music. But that's just, of course, point number one. The second point was Prince is more prolific. And obviously, the fact that Prince had already released 26 albums, scored 6 movies, and had been on 20 tours before Kanye West's first album came out, he obviously wins the fight for most prolific, especially since even after that, he released more and more, an album still every year. And on the year that Kanye West came out with his first album, College Dropout, in 2004, Prince released 3 albums that year. So, yes, I know, it's crazy. That's going to be a fun section for me to do in the reviews. So there's that. Number 3, Prince is more influential. It's kind of interesting. This one's he doesn't actually have much to back this one up. Prince influences a bunch of his own acts. Kanye West influences a bunch of his own acts. I mean, obviously, I would agree that Prince is more influential, but Prince was also there in a time before the internet and before all that stuff. He was beside Michael Jackson and Madonna and all the greats when it came to putting on great shows and really making a name for yourself without the internet. And I don't know, that's a weird one. I would agree, but I don't think he makes the point as good as he thinks he does. Number 4 is Prince had to do more with less against more. This is also kind of Prince came in and he had to really make a name for himself, and he had to fight for creative control, and he had to do all of these things. He had to fight for these things. Whereas with a lot of Kanye West's music, he didn't really have to do a lot. The record executives kind of worked with him, and he was able to sample things. I don't want to say that any of Kanye West's fame is undeserved. However, he came out and was almost immediately just heralded as the next thing in rap, whereas Prince worked for years and years and years to get through that stuff. So the next thing would be Prince is more respected. This one's kind of weird because Prince is respected the same way that Michael Jackson was respected, the same way Madonna's respected. And even though he kind of went Jehovah's Witness and people started kind of thinking of him as kind of crazy. People still respected him. Like, if he walked in the room, you were like, oh shit, Prince is here. You know? And Kanye is kind of, I think Kanye's kind of there too. I think he's respected, but I think he's also kind of feared because I think people are like, we don't know what he's going to do, what next outlandish thing he's going to do. You know, obviously the Taylor Swift thing, but honestly, the thing that mostly offended me was when he went up and he said Beck wasn't a real artist. And I'm like, Beck is more prolific than you and has been out for longer than you, and we could do the same list, and Beck would win against Kanye West, and you're going to say that Beck isn't a real artist? I mean, just stuff like that. I mean, he's just kind of, he's unpredictable, so I don't think he's respected. I think people just don't know how to take him, and I think he might take that as respect, but it's not. So the next one is, when Prince deigns to cover a song, it's covered. Oh God. Obviously, he uses two things as evidence here. One is Kanye West's performance of Bohemian Rhapsody, and it is painful. Like, oh God, it's really, really bad. It's like auto-tuned and everything. And then he cites any of the covers that Prince did, whether it be Betcha by Golly Wow or One of Us, you know, I Can't Make You Love Me. Like, he takes those songs and he puts it down. And I would agree with that, hands down. But I think it's also harder for a rapper who doesn't sing to cover a song by one of the greatest singers in the world, Freddie Mercury. So I think using that as an example, I think he was, you know, trying to pay homage, but it was an uphill battle for Kanye West to do that song. But you know, I mean, I give him props for at least he tried. Number 7 is Kanye wants to break into fashion, but Prince embodied fashion. And I think that one's actually true. Kanye West is an entrepreneur, and he's really trying to break in and make his own brand and do all of this stuff. Whereas Prince was like, I'm going to wear whatever I want, and you can like it or not. And then people ended up liking it, and he started shaping fashion for everybody. I think that's a really good point. Number 8, and this is, again, stretching it. I think he needed 10. But number 8 is Sign of the Times versus College Dropout, where he actually pits the two albums against each other. I think this is the part where he starts to kind of lose me, because he sounds like, I don't want to sound all hipster or whatever, but he sounds like he's, you know, not really a fan of Prince. He's a fan of popular Prince. He's a fan of Purple Rain era Prince, and not Prince throughout his career, where he came out with some of his best music later on in his life. Scott Woods basically says that 1999 is the most Prince album ever, Purple Rain is his greatest album ever, and Sign of the Times is his best album ever, which is why he used Sign of the Times versus College Dropout. And he kind of goes point for point and kind of compares the two albums and says, basically, Sign of the Times is better. I wouldn't disagree with that, but it seems like a flimsy point to make. But you know, whatever, he needed 10. 9 is Prince pimps the music industry hard, and Kanye largely remains an industry tool. That's a weird one. I think that Prince fought for his creative control. He also paid for his creative control in album sales. So some would say that, you know, that makes him better at industry stuff, whereas, I don't know. I mean, if Kanye can get good contracts and he can still make a lot of money, I would probably not say that one is better than the other. I mean, obviously, Prince having creative control and any artist having creative control over their own stuff is better. But I'm not privy to Kanye's contracts and whatnot, so it seems like a weird point to make. And then number 10 point is Kanye even great? Which is interesting because at the very beginning of the article, he says, I'm not trying to come out here and hate, but yeah, I mean, this point really just does a lot of hating. It's basically all it does. And what it does, this point that he makes, is he says, well, cool, okay, well, let's not compare him to Prince, which is thousands of light years ahead of him. Let's compare him to Kendrick Lamar, and goes down the list versus Kanye West, and Kendrick Lamar wins against him. Which I actually like Kendrick Lamar, so I mean that might tell you something. You know, maybe pitting Kanye West against Prince is just it's just not even fair. It's not even fair for Kanye. Just like I said, it wasn't fair for people to criticize him for trying to do Freddie Mercury. If he tried to do Prince, you know, it's just it's an uphill battle for Kanye. But yes, the link is down below. You should go check it out. And again, it's a long read, but it is worth it. It is a really good article. And when you're done reading it, come here and we'll talk about it in the comments. Let me know what you think of Prince versus Kanye and who would win. I've also been thinking about possibly doing a versus part of the channel. So if you have interesting matchups, I might take the same criteria and start applying it to other acts, Prince versus Michael Jackson, or you know the Strokes versus Green Day, or whatever, what have you. I think it would actually be a pretty interesting thing to actually compare these different criteria and see who comes out on top. If you like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and may you live to see the dawn.